Guys, what's up to our new series on this channel where I sit here and talk about teams and their outlook on the off season, and my opinions on what they should do. I don't know if I'll do all teams. I might do 10 mats. I'm gonna talk about my perspective on what they should do. So starting, we have the Raiders. Have a lot of assets, a lot of draft capital, and a lot of free agents to sign in. 31. I'm not 31 free agents to sign. Of course, you cannot re-sign everyone. Raiders fans, please don't be mad at me because, like I said, this is just my opinion. Starting, and there's some more death guys, of course, on this list that could be re-signed. I didn't really care too much about the death guys. I probably have two mats, but starting one, Jared Cook is a huge re-sign. The Raiders need Jared Cook. In my opinion, if he hits free agency, he will get paid. I mean, one of these major teams. Jared Cook was decent. He was very good. He had another career year this season, and yeah, he's a huge asset. Derek Carr loves him as one of those big, strong targets to throw to. He's a very good tight end. Uh, Not too bad. You know, I expect him to be re-signed by the Raiders. They'd be crazy to not re-sign him. And then going on the second person, well, you guys know him. The guy who should have ran the ball against us. And in the Super Bowl, we're not going to talk about that. Marshawn Lynch, he should be re-signed. There's no question about it. I shouldn't even have to talk more about it in length. The Raiders don't have a sure running back one. They could, and one thing I'll talk about in the free agency part of this video, they could make a run at Le'Veon Bell, but they don't really have a pure running back one other than him. So I really do think the Raiders run a two running back system. We'll talk more about that at the free agency window. Raiders fans will love this video. Josh Feliciano, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, buddy. He's more of a death guard. Yeah, I mean, hey, I love the death signings. You can't go wrong with that. Jalen Richard was pretty good. Also, he's a good running back. Like I said, with the Raiders going unsure, Gruden has a lot of decisions to make. But with the Raiders not having a sure thing there, I expect Jalen Richard to be re-signed. So yeah, and Frosty Rucker, he came on and during the I say weeks of the season. I mean, definitely could get some more snaps in that season. I expect him to be re-signed. Mike Nugent, more of a debt signing again. He might get cut in the preseason. I don't know if Gruden will like him a lot, but why not? I just threw him on this list. Thought why not? Definitely could be re-signed. Moving on to the draft now. All right, the Raiders have a lot of picks to use, a lot of high picks. Raiders fans have to love that, although they kind of tanked. Gotta love that. That's always a good thing about a tank. Uh, the first pick in the NFL draft. I mean, look, you gotta see I have trade because I do believe that Gruden will trade up for Nick Bosa. They have the assets to do it, the future assets to do it. I think they don't have to give up this year's assets, and they can also do that. I think they can trade up for Nick Bosa, and I think they will trade up for Nick Bosa. So I have one. I'm sticking with that. I've said that all season. I'm sticking with that. At one, I have the Raiders taking Nick Bosa. Uh, they just traded a huge versatility guy and a monster in Khalil Mack. Nick Bosa can fill that void. I'm looking at the other guys draft: Ed Oliver, Quentin Williams. All these are. It's a huge division draft. But Josh Allen and Nick Bosa are the only two guys I see that can fit that that fold for that Khalil Mack left. So I see Ground Gruden folding and trading up for Nick Bosa. Again, Raiders fans, let me know in the comments what you think. Two, no, at the number 24th pick in the first round, I have them taking my Bama boy, Mac Wilson. This guy is a beast. I don't think he declared for the draft. I have to check that. I don't know if he's made a decision yet, so I may have to go back and change this later. Oh, God. But if he declares, I'm telling you, watch out for this guy. He reminds me of Ray Lewis. I don't really have a pure comp for him. of an active player today. Uh, he models. I mean, Ray Lewis is a guy he looks up to, and he hits hard. Man, let me tell you, man. I really don't have, I don't have a pure comp for him, but I mean, anybody that's watched Bama games like I do, I mean, I know I'm a Bama fan, so I watch a lot of games, but anybody that's watched a lot of Alabama games knows this guy hits hard. Um, I see Mac Wilson going to the Raiders. Think he's going to be a hard-working guy that Gruden loves, hard-hitting guy Gruden loves. Three, number 27, I believe. This is Debo Samuel. Other people have the Raiders taking Calvin Ridley. I don't think he'll be available at that pick. So I have the Raiders taking Debo Samuel. And he's not too bad. I mean, it's a lot of great wide receivers in this class. Everyone has their opinions on who's the best wide receiver. Um, we're not gonna get into a debate about that. I mean, hey, we all have our opinions. Debo is. I'm not gonna say who's the best wide receiver in this draft class, but again, he's very good. He's up there. Calvin Ridley is very good. Marquise Brown for me, who is got to be a top three wide receiver in this draft class. He's being very overlooked. He's very good. May go in the third round because of the so much talent in this class, but uh, hey, do you man, Debo Samuel is very good. He didn't do too bad at the Senior Bowl. So yeah, I mean, hey, if the Raiders want to go that way, I mean, hey, if the Raiders want to go that way, anyway. Moving on, have the Raiders taking Darrell Williams, their fifth pick. Look, Darrell Williams, um, he's a good offensive lineman, and that's what 5 and 6 is basically self-explanatory. Andrew Wingard and Darrell Williams are guys that you can put in there and develop. And next year, the year after you draft them, let them develop over time. They're gonna be studs. I think Darren Williams and Andrew Wingard can surprise some people, and I think that they're what the Raiders need. A lot of people want to give up on Derek Carr. I don't think that the Raiders. I mean, anything can happen in the NFL. I don't think they replace him uh, this year yet. I think you should give him another year at least, and give him some weapons around him, give him some talent. The Raiders O line is regressing badly. Um, they have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL on paper, but anyone with eyes can see that it's regressing, and they really, I think Gruden really needs to do something about that. And seven, this is a guy that I really like. I know Patriots fans are gonna hate this, and I have the Patriots in their outlook taking a certain Clemson receiver. So the please Patriots fans do not be mad at me. Uh, I have the Raiders taking Andy Isabella with their seventh pick, if he'll even be available then, because this kid has gotten a little bit on the map at the Senior Bowl. Still, a lot of wide receiver talent in this class. I think he'll still be floating around there. And as Trey Quinn, a perfect example. Again, I keep saying this. Trey Quinn is very talented, and he was the last pick. He was irrelevant. I call him Mr. Relevant now. That's my nickname for him. He was Mr. Irrelevant last year in the draft. Anything can happen in these drafts. Andy Isabella can give Derek Carr another. Well, he could be a maniac of a slot receiver um, for the Raiders. So, you know, I'll be back. We're going to do free agency. What's up, guys? So, I'm back. Look, I have the Raiders free agency plans here. I'm Raiders fans. Please don't be mad because you don't see Earl Thomas. Any any names you want to see from here. I mean, honestly, let me know. I do think that they will be a strong suit. I think that the two teams down the Le'Veon Bell. And this is what I want to add. The two teams I can't really put Le'Veon Bell on any of these outlooks because I don't know where he'll go. Okay, I can't. I don't know where he'll go. But the two teams that will go down to I think is the Colts and the Raiders. I look at the Raiders cap space, 73 million in cap, and they don't have any really major free agents to sign. Uh, so it can really. I mean, hey, if Gruden wants to, he can. This is the major Okay, I do see them making some major free agent signings that you can see. Yeah, I think Raiders fans will be happy with what we put together. I have them having Dewan James. Dewan James was a really good tackle for Pittsburgh. Um, I think he was very underrated, and he did a good job protecting Ben Roethlisberger and even the backup quarterbacks and Dobbs, etc. John Brown is a receiver I like to watch. He runs routes very well, mostly like a slot receiver, but sometimes the Ravens use him as a two. You know, sometimes the Ravens just run a little bit of a sloppy offense, but he was very interesting to work or watch. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. I think Tyrell Williams is going to get paid more, of course, but John Brown is a very strong option. Now, the Dominican Sue, the Rams, we know where their cap space lands. We know they can't keep everyone. I think Sue was more of a rental than everything. A expensive rental at that, and I don't blame the Rams. I think Sue goes to the Raiders, and I think they, like I said, I think they make a strong run at Le'Veon Bell, but I think they cut it down to these two interior forces and Sue and Ansa. And Raiders fans have to be happy with what we did here. Sue and Ansa is, I mean, if you don't know who these two players are, they're gonna let your quarterback know who they are. That's all I can say. Ezekiel Ansa is one of my favorite edge rushers in the league. Um, and I'm not a huge fan of Ndamukong Suh because he's such a dirty player. But I still respect his game. He's still such a good player. Very unique defensive tackle. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, like I said, anything can happen in the NFL. So please don't get mad at me if one of these players doesn't hit free agency or one of these, please, anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's still the NFL. I'm just giving you guys my outlook, and you guys should just give me yours. Let me know in the comment section. Where do you think these guys will go? All right.